All right. It's crazy hearing yourself on this microphone. Good evening, everyone. Good evening. When I was writing this speech, I won't lie, I was really struggling with where to start. So I thought it might make sense to start at the very beginning. There's a time in each one of our lives when we meet someone truly special. The person you can rely on through thick and thin. The person that knows you better than yourself. The person that you'll share endless joy with for the rest of your life. And a while back now for Matt, as you've already heard, is when he met me. So allow me to quickly introduce myself if you missed it. My name is Rod. I'm Matt's best man and best friend. This is such an exciting night for me, as I can only imagine the same for so many of you. On behalf of the bride and groom, we'd like to thank you all for making out to this very spectacular occasion. Speaking of spectacular, how spectacular does this couple look right now? Let's give it up. It's so easy to see why Matt would be in love with Janica. Before I get into that fun stuff, though, I think it's important to qualify how I know when Matt is in love. If anyone is going to know, it's going to be the guys and I. As for most of us, we go all the way back to middle school. This is over half of our lives ago, which is pretty crazy to think about. So many memories, such as Boomer's arcade sessions, formerly known as Palace Park, Jack in the Box nights, Pioneer Park gatherings, Rock and Bowl, and this doesn't scratch the surface through high school. I remember one memory, though, from high school that Matt really upset me. It was devastation. It was around a bet, and the worst kind of bet possible. I received horrible news as Matt's friend that he was going to move away. And I couldn't believe it at that time. And I was so in disbelief that I bet Matt $100 at that time that he wasn't going to move. Because, I mean, how could you move away from your best friend? Well, he did. And I was very upset. I just lost $100. All jokes aside, there's a happy ending to all this, as is evident today. Matt came back and completed me again. Fast forward several years later, and now Matt gets to complete Janica. To be perfectly honest, I knew that this day was coming from the first time I met her. The first time I met Janica was at my first condo in Aliso Viejo when Matt introduced her to the crew. I remember vividly every star aligned that night. All of our friends happened to make it to my party, which was very difficult at that time. Every person under that roof was under incredible spirits. And even upon probable devastation, when we were getting ready to play beer pong and found out I had no ping pong balls, the last star aligned when Janica saved the entire party, having them close by. That's just it, though. When the stars align, the world is telling us something. That night, I saw the way that my best friend was looking at Janica. It was true love. I know, because Matt used to look at me that way. No, just kidding. All right. Okay. But I want to close this out with something totally heartfelt. As Matt's best friend, I can confidently say that I know him very well. I consider him to be a man of the highest possible character and one of the best human beings that I've ever met. So naturally, as I believe he truly deserves it, and I want the absolute best for him, I know that from the bottom of my heart that that person is Janica, who is as equally as deserving as someone as incredible as Matt. I wish you both nothing but the best memories, love, and cherished moments within the years ahead. And to that, I ask that all of you help me wish them all the best in the future, and a toast to Matt and Janica. Congratulations.